What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my second college quarterback pro prospect preview, grade breakdown, whatever you want to call it, scouting report. As this offseason leading up to the NFL draft, I will do scouting reviews on pretty much every relevant quarterback going into this NFL draft. And last Friday, I believe it was, I reviewed Drew Lock, so be sure to watch that video after this one if you guys want to, where I basically go over Drew Lock and his pro scouting report. But in this video, we're going to do Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray is an extremely exciting prospect just because he's unlike any prospect that we've ever seen. You know, he's a little dude, but he's got a cannon of an arm, makes a lot of good throws, and he was obviously a Heisman Trophy winner. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and preview Kyler Murray right now. So let's get it. So before I break down Kyler Murray as a player, I do kind of want to go over him and his history while playing college football. In 2015, as a freshman, he played at Texas A&M, where he competed for a starting spot with quarterback Kyle Allen. He wound up losing that competition, and he wound up being the backup. And he played in a lot of different roles. I mean, he came in on mostly Wildcats. He did wind up starting a couple games, but he appeared in 8 total games. But after his freshman year, he did decide to transfer out to Oklahoma. Sat out the whole 2016 season due to the whole transfer rule. And then in 2017, he backed up Heisman Trophy winner of that year, Baker Mayfield, and he kind of played a limited role there. But finally in 2018, he finally got his shot. You know, before the 2018 season, he was actually drafted by the Oakland A's in the top 10 of the draft, and he did decide that he wanted to be able to play his junior year of football. After playing on the sidelines so much, he finally wanted his shot to play, and he did. And boy, was he magical. Over 4,300 yards passing. He had 260 completions to 377 total attempts, so that is a 69% completion percentage. Nice. And he threw 42 touchdown passes to only 7 interceptions. That's a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Absolutely incredible. And he also tacked on 1,001 yards rushing, which led to him winning the Heisman Trophy for the most excellent college football player of the year. So prolific junior season that he had, and he wound up leading his team into the playoffs before losing the first round to Alabama. So he had a big decision to make. Was he going to play baseball for the A's and go through the whole minor league system, or was he going to declare for the NFL draft? And he wound up making the right decision and declaring for the NFL draft. Now, the first thing people talk about when you discuss Kyler Murray is his height. Not the tallest guy. I mean, you look, there's going to be all kinds of people commenting down below what height he really is. I mean, there's reports out there that he's 5'11". Oklahoma says he's 5'10". Most people think he's like 5'9". So, I mean, if you look online, he's listed anywhere between 5'7" to 5'11", but honestly, hold your judgment on that. We'll find out his official height on February 26th when he weighs in and measures in at the NFL Combine, and we'll get his exact measurement down to the 1/8 of an inch. So that's when we really know his height. I think he's probably a flat 5'9" in my opinion, but we can debate that all you want. We'll see when in the February comes about. Now, when I break down him as a pros prospect, the first thing I like to look at is the mechanics on a quarterback. You know, he doesn't have great mechanics, but I would say he has good mechanics. The main thing holding him back is just his throwing motion. It is a little bit windy. He does kind of bring the ball down here if you kind of pause it and winds up and throws it. However, he throws the ball so quickly where, I mean, you really have to slow it down. Like, if you watch it in regular speed, you would think that he just goes up there and throws it real quick. But if you do slow it down, he does wind up a little bit and throws it. But it's so fast that it's really hard to see unless you do slow it down. And his footwork is pretty good. And that's, you know, partly probably because he is a baseball player. I believe he's played center field, so those guys are used to setting their feet and throwing those balls pretty deep. But, you know, his mechanics, I wouldn't say great just because he does have a little bit of loopy throwing motion, but good footwork. He's got a really quick release, and yeah, I do like that part about him with his mechanics. Now, another thing I really like about Kyler Murray is that he's highly accurate. He's very, very accurate. I mean, he had a 69% completion percentage. You know, he was good on the deep ball. You know, his passes that aren't on target, or his incomplete passes, I should say, aren't usually that far off of target. So, you know, he's highly accurate, which is something that you can't coach. You can't coach accuracy. Another thing he does well is he throws on a run. I mean, when he gets out of the pocket, that's usually when he's the most dangerous. And when he's throwing on a run, man, he's incredible. I mean, he can throw the ball really anywhere on the field. When he's on a run, it's incredible. He's very good on the run, like I said. And, you know, along with that, while he's good on the run, he's also quick as hell. I mean, Kyler Murray in open space is as dangerous as any skill player on the field. The guy can move. The guy's extremely fast. You know, he'll probably run a 40-yard dash in a low 4.4s. I mean, I'd be really interested to see what he runs in a 40-yard combine. Elusive, quick as hell, and that's one thing that's really, really exciting about him. He's also very elusive in the pocket. I mean, he can shimmy around and he can move all around in the pocket, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun to see him how well he extends plays. You know, a lot of times once, you know, the pressure comes, he'll immediately run out of it, and he'll have all kinds of open room to run and decide where he wants to throw the ball. So those are all things that I really like about Kyler Murray. Now, some of the bad things. You know, I'll go ahead and say this, and this isn't his fault, but it's the system that he's in, the whole spread system. And that's really the knock on a lot of the quarterbacks. It's not their fault, but it's something that I do have to say. When you're in a spread offense, you spread everything out. You know, usually the pocket is super clean. Usually the players are getting super open. Usually it's a lot of one-read stuff, and it's not a knock on Kyler Murray, but it is one thing. He's not coming from a pro-style set, so he's going to have to kind of get used to that. Another thing is his pocket presence. He does tend, when the pressure comes, he does try to quickly evade it. You know, usually if he sees pressure, he tries to run out of it, and he doesn't seem like he's completely comfortable in the pocket. Now, one thing I don't know is what Lincoln Riley is telling him, because, you know, if I'm Lincoln Riley, I probably do tell him, hey, if you feel pressure, run out of it. Because if you run out of it, you're going to have all kinds of open room. And this could work in college football, but in NFL it's going to be a little bit tougher, you know, especially when guys are trained just to go around and just suffocate him in the pocket. You know, he doesn't look completely comfortable in the pocket, but that's something you can definitely work with. You know, another thing is, like, usually he throws to his first read. I don't see him really scanning the field a whole lot. Now, that also goes with the spread system, but he's really, it seems like mostly like one read stuff with him. Another thing is that I don't really see him making many pre-snap adjustments. And, you know, that kind of goes into the whole football IQ. You know, you can go to the line of scrimmage, be able to call your protection schemes, you know, all that kind of stuff. You don't really see all that much out of him. But a lot of that might just have to do with the lack of playing experience that he does have. Obviously, this is his first season that he actually had a full starting role. You know, usually he's been in on wildcat situations, been in on a relief duty, you know, for Baker Mayfield when they were up, you know, 60-7. So yeah, I mean, a lot of that, you know, when the pre-snap stuff, a lot of that can be learned with time. And one thing I gotta say it is obviously his height. 5'9", not an ideal height for a quarterback, and that's something that, you know, when you're out there playing, you may have to spread offensive linemen apart. You may have to really learn that, you know, if a guy's running a slant to try to throw in between your offensive linemen, you know, he's gonna have to see over these guys. So, you know, really with him, you will need to adjust an offense to play for him, you know, with his height and everything. So, you know, with his height, you know, he's going to be below 200 pounds. So when you compare him to other guys, you know, like Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, all these guys that you want to, you know, compare him to, all those other guys that I mentioned are over 200 pounds, while Kyler Murray's most likely under 190 pounds. So he could be frail, but one good thing about him is that he did play baseball, so he's going to know how to slide. It's not going to be too awkward for him, so I would trust him to, you know, be able to avoid hits like that. Another thing, like I kind of said earlier with the pre-snap adjustments kind of thing, don't really do all that much of that. His football IQ, I don't think is just the best. It's because you know, when it comes to just, like I said, reading the field and just the pre-snap adjustments, his football IQ probably isn't all there yet, just because he's kind of had limited starts. So this is something that, you know, you can definitely learn with. You can definitely grow as you give him more playing time and as you kind of sit him behind maybe a quarterback to start his rookie season. Now the big question is, would I draft Kyler Murray to the Jacksonville Jaguars at pick number 7? Absolutely. I mean, I would absolutely take him. I mean, if Haskins is somehow gone, you know, I don't know who I like more yet, of Haskins or Kyler Murray, but you know, I had to make this video just because I made a video about Kyler Murray a couple weeks ago after he declared for the NFL draft. You know, I tried to get the video out there, you know, while the news was hot, get more views, like whatever. But, you know, I was kind of, I had to go back on and say, you know, I got to actually do some more work on this guy, not just look at his height and not just look at his highlights and all that kind of stuff. So I did a deeper look at him, and I really do like him. I think he could be incredible. And you know, you look at the things, man, like, the main thing I like about him is his accuracy. Guys, you can't coach accuracy. You can't coach a player to throw the ball better. And he's got that. He's got incredible accuracy. He can throw the deep ball. He can, unlike Lamar Jackson, when you want to compare running quarterbacks, like Lamar Jackson couldn't hit check down guys a lot of times. Kyler Murray, you know, he's on target with all that. I mean, a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio doesn't come with a whole lot of accuracy. So that's a lot of things I like about him. You can work with the negatives when it comes to, like, you know, learning how to play in the pocket. You know, I really think as he gets more experience, he'll learn how to do that a little bit better. You know, he's going to learn how to read defenses as he gets more playing time. And, you know, I really think as this guy gets more experience, he's going to flourish. So, really with him, I would love him to be able to maybe be a pick for the Jaguars at number 7, but the Jaguars have to do right for him. They have to be able to, they can't rush this guy in there as a starting quarterback, because I do think that he's going to have to sit for a little bit and learn behind another quarterback. I don't think he's as pro-ready as a guy like Haskins, but just because he's got a lack of experience, he's going to have to learn how to play more of a pro-style set. But yeah, I mean, they got to work with him that way. They got to get more offensive players around him, more like good skill players and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I really think that eventually down the road, if the Jaguars can become a team that, you know, likes to pass first, and then all of a sudden, you know, once these guys are on their heels expecting the passes, you have Leonard Fournette to be able to bust it up the middle and run some people over. That would be awesome to me. And I think Kyler Murray, you know, if you can build an offense around him, I think he would be great. And it's tough because when you look at Coughlin, you look at Doug Marrone, it doesn't feel like Kyler Murray is the type of player that they'd want to draft, which stinks to say, but it's just how, like, I immediately feel about it. And I know a lot of people like to throw out the pro prospect comparisons. This guy has no comparison. This guy is his own player. This guy is a prototype. You know, as you go on and you see other guys that are like 5'9", 5'10" declare for the NFL draft, these smaller guys, these, you know, below 200-pound guys, they're all going to be compared to Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray, he's going to be a trailblazer. He's going to really set the tone, you know, for future players that, you know, want to be able to get drafted into the NFL as a shorter quarterback. And hell knows, man, maybe he'll really completely shift the route for players in high school when coaches tell them they're too small to play quarterback, so they switch over to slot receiver, you know. It'll be really interesting to me. You know, I would absolutely like to take this guy at number 7. I think this guy could be, this guy has an incredible ceiling, and just with his accuracy, I think this guy will be in the NFL for a long time. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like if you guys can. Subscribe to the channel for future pro prospect videos. And this is UC Jaguar with JenJag.com. Let me know your thoughts of Kyler Murray down below, and I'll see you guys next time.